All right, welcome back. And you heard the commercial there talking about C60. And in this day and age when everyone, all of us, are living under really unprecedented amounts of stress and anxiety and pressure, you need to bend every advantage your way to stay strong, stay healthy, and keep your immune system up to its maximum potential. Bob Greska is with us this hour, along with a couple of special guests. Hello, Bob. Welcome back, Mr. C60.
Yeah. Hey, Jeff. How you doing? Glad to be back on the show. We have a good show lined up, like I said, with two guests. They're going to speak about their experience with neuropathy and Greska's Carbon-60. So we're going to hear quite a bit about neuropathy.
Now, that's interesting. That's a kind of one of our unknown minor epidemics. People have nerve pain. They just don't, and there's really no apparent treatment for it. How would you describe neuropathy?
Well, like pins and needles, a numbness, a tingling in your feet or your hands. It's usually peripheral neuropathy, they call it. I guess that's in your extremities. Right.
But it's something that actually people don't seem to understand how it comes about, and they certainly don't have any orthodox treatment for it. But I think we're going to learn something in this hour for all those who have neuropathy, which is very valuable, among other things as well. What do we know about C-60.com at this point, Bob, in terms of really augmenting the immune system? What are you hearing?
Well, there's all kinds of things attacking the immune system. More things now than ever. And to build the Carbon-60 helps bolster the cells or makes them more vibrant in your body by eliminating a lot of the free radicals, which are the common denominator for the most health issues. So if you get rid of the free radicals or stabilize them with an electron. And basically the carbon also helps to detoxify your body. So any toxins, any foreign things in your body that aren't supposed to be there, as you know, carbon cleans up, water, drinking water in your drinking water systems. It pulls out all the toxins. Well, this does the same thing in your body.
It's the ultimate filter. Yeah, it's a terrific breakthrough, once-in-a-lifetime product. And I have not spoken to anyone who hasn't raved about it after beginning to use it. And I mean that. It's just remarkable. I take it every day.
Well, we're talking about the quality of life. Things change when you take this product. Your body needs carbon. It functions on carbon, and that's why we eat food, to extract the carbon out of it. So this is already pre-extracted, and it's not really extracted. It's just converted carbon. It's very pure, very clean Carbon-60. We don't have any contaminants in it or solvents or anything like that. So they're very bioavailable. Now, the thing about this carbon, I want to say, is nothing has ever been this small to detox inside your body. The carbon molecules they're nano-size. They're 20 nanometer spheres of carbon, which are small enough to get into your cell, detoxify it, and the extreme success we've had with this product has been over the top. And so I urge people, please give it a try.
All right, I want everybody to call in the morning, seriously, and if you're not taking C60, I want you to try this. I know it is everything you hear and then some. So the number again is 720-600-6040. Real simple. So call in the morning. All right, Bob, thank you very much. I'm going to get on to our special guests now. Great job. Keep it up. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Jeff. Nice to have you on again, and enjoy my two guests. They're very well spoken, and I'm sure you'll have a good time with them.
Very good. Thanks for setting it all up. Okay. All right. Our first special guest tonight is Pastor Bob Stout, S-T-O-U-T, and he is in Arkansas, and we're going to talk to him about several things, and we'll talk to the next guest right after that. Hello, Pastor Bob. Are you there?
Yes. Good evening. Can you hear me?
We hear you loud and clear. Yes, indeed.
Okay, good. And thank you so much for having me on your show.
Oh, my pleasure. How long have you been a pastor?
For probably about 30 years.
Just getting started, huh? Okay.
Well, yeah, just getting started. I've done a lot of prison ministry in my life.
Well, you're really reaching into an area of our society that most people would rather not even think about.
That is true.
Bless you for that. That's extraordinary. All right. Now, you want to talk a little bit about, I guess, neuropathy first, which is, I think, a rather hidden, minor epidemic in this country. I think a lot of people have it. I don't know what causes it, but I know it's out there because people tell me, I got these pains all. Tell us about neuropathy and what your story is with that.
Okay, my story actually started probably a little over the year 2000 when I was working for Lowe's Home Improvement Stores.
Sure.
And when you go into a big box store, you're walking on concrete for 8 or 9 hours a day, 5 or 6 days a week.
Right.
And because of that, and I'm all over the store, and that floor does not give at all, I developed neuropathy in my feet. And at first, I felt a tingling in my feet. But when I got in the car to go home, I felt my feet was beginning to get numb. And then all of a sudden, it felt like bees were stinging my feet. So I asked my sister, who's a registered nurse, I said, Judy, I've got this problem. She goes, Bob, you got the beginnings of neuropathy. And she said, I have it too, but not as bad as you. So I thought, oh boy, what am I going to do, Judy? And she recommended, she says, Bob, I tell you what, the only thing that they have out there on the market is a product called gabapentin. And she says it also works on the hands and the feet.
Right.
But she said, unfortunately, it causes dizziness, drowsiness, fatigue, fever, a sedated feeling, and sometimes a viral infection.
Oh,
and I told her, well, that's just great. I said, I've got to work every day, and I have to put up with that.
Yeah.
But actually, I got used to it. I'm allowed to take 2,400 milligrams a day, which is 3 800-milligram tablets.
Okay. Now tell me a little bit more about the pain aspect and the discomfort of this.
Well,
Does
the
it
pain, what
manifest
happens is
differently?
it begins to build after you put in like your first 4 hours of the day when you do have a total of 8 hours.
Right.
Then your feet gets numb and you can feel all this numbness and this tingling and like a bee bites on your, stinging your feet, and it progressively gets worse.
That's pretty creepy.
It really is. And I'll tell you something, there's no worse feeling at the end of the day to have that feeling when you're getting ready to go clear across town to go home.
What do you think there may be by way of a cause, beside pounding the floor on concrete? I have a hunch that there are other things mixed in some cases of neuropathy that are causing it.
Well, and I can tell you another. I started my career with United Parcel Service, and because I did so much running across either concrete floors to buildings or across people's property to deliver their package, I started to get probably at the mildest case of neuropathy then, because I was with United Parcel Service about half of my career.
Okay. All right. You've been at it for a while. All right. Let's carry on with this. So you've got the neuropathy. It's getting worse. The gabapentin is not the cure-all that we really want. So what happened? You started with how did you hear about Greska's C60?
Actually, it was about a year ago. Gary, my friend that I live with, basically said, because he watches your show, or during the evening, 5 days a week, he listens to it, and I've been listening to you for quite a long time too.
Very nice. Thank you.
He saw the Carbon-60, and he thought, Bob, try this. He said, order this for me. So I did, and he could tell in the evening when I take my shoes off, he said, you're having a lot of problem with your feet. He says, try this Carbon-60. And I said, I'll try anything to eliminate this pain. So topically, I went ahead and put it underneath my feet all the way at the flat part of your foot and topically on the top. And within 60 seconds, or maybe a minute and a half, the pain was totally gone out of my feet.
Okay, hold on. You took, all right, so you got the eyedropper, you put a couple of drops in your hand or whatever, and you rubbed it into the bottom of your feet, then you rubbed it onto the top of your feet, you rubbed it all over each foot, and the pain went away.
Yeah, and I put it on my toes, also completely, surrounding all the drops that had anything left. My whole foot, basically, topically, had the Carbon-60, and I just couldn't believe it. I told Gary, I said, Gary, the pain is gone out of my feet. And I said,
hold on, Bob. What did you think when it's Carbon-60 is black, it's charcoal colored. You put it on your feet, and after 10 or 15 minutes, it's gone. You don't see it anymore. What did you think about that?
Well, as I put it on, I thought to myself, well, let's see, a lot of kind of lotions that you put on your body, it disappears, but this is grayish-bluish color of Bob Greska's Carbon-60. I was able to rub it in real quickly and absorbed it into the skin. And I'm telling you, because I'm the kind of person, I have a very high pain tolerance, but after a while, when you have this neuropathy, it begins to get to you.
No, thanks. So as we've talked about forever, it is so tiny and so small, it goes right through the skin and goes to work. And this is very interesting. Okay, go ahead. Carry on. This is really
okay. And just one other thing that I wanted to bring out to your listeners is being a pastor, and I help people usually on a daily basis, and it's a very good feeling. It really is. And I run into a lot of people that have a lot of illnesses, and basically I will tell them about Carbon-60, but I do know this for a fact of being in the ministry for 30 years. If we do our humble part, and you exhaust all the known possibilities in faith alone in God, and then pray and ask God to be the guide and direct our path, He will take over and He will do His divine part. I have seen it time after time after time.
And now, more than ever, do we need that kind of guidance and help?
Yes, we do.
People are lost. They're just lost. They're being pummeled and beaten down 25 hours a day, and they don't know what to do. They just don't know what to do.
With this COVID-19, I have seen so many people so extremely frightened.
I know.
And it's such a shame. But going back to the Carbon-60, I have talked to Bob Greska before, and I just told him, I said, you have got an amazing product. And I said, I would not say that, because I said, I'm very much of a kind of a critic. But I said, when I found something, your product that definitely worked, I'm going to go ahead and use it for another 6 months to see exactly what it's going to do for my feet.
Okay. What else did you notice? Anything else? Did your neuropathy generate pain in your lower legs and your upper? Did it treat you systemically?
Actually, the neuropathy has settled in both of my feet. My left foot is worse than my right.
Right.
And of course, in the course of the day, I'm busy for about 9 or 10 hours, and when I take my socks off in the evening and put that Carbon-60 on there, I got a smile on my face. I'm laying in bed with my feet up because the pain is gone.
What a wonderful story. That's really terrific.
I have found, though, for me, this Carbon-60 is going to be the key, I believe, in the next 6 months to see if it'll get rid of all these free radicals and possibly do not have any more neuropathy. Because I will tell you, I failed my DOT test to go back in and drive a big semi-truck. The doctor would have passed me, but she said, Bob, do you really want to drive when you can't feel the clutch and the brake and the accelerator? And I told her, I said, you're right. And I said, I'm not angry with you. I said, you're absolutely right. I said, and she said, I hate to do this to you. But she did, but I was thankful, because I would never be able to live with it myself if I ever hurt or killed anybody out on the road.
No, of course not. All right, let's go to our next guest. He is David Panek. I'm going to say Panek. We'll find out, P-A-N-E-K. David, welcome.
Yes.
How do you pronounce your last name?
You pronounce it Panek, but you don't want to holler that too loud, because Homeland Security might arise,
Oh, God. Yeah,
but
you got that
David
one.
Panek. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. All right. Physics and chemistry instructor. Now, this is very interesting. You have a unique perspective about this product. So tell us what you think, and then we'll get into the specifics. Carbon. We're carbon beings. Carbon-60.
Yeah.
How does it factor into your physics and chemistry work?
Well, when I taught physics and chemistry for just about 26 years, and the textbooks were expensive, and you were lucky to have new textbooks maybe every 7 to 10 years.
Right.
So I retired in 2000, and a lot of the fullerene research and carbon-60 specifically was available, but it hadn't made it to a lot of textbooks. You see what I mean?
Right.
Periodicals, yes.
Sure.
Research papers, yes. So I was interested in it, and then because of some health problems, I was more interested in it from the research that I was reading about for longevity and oxidative stress. And so being involved in chemistry, when I started, I did the research, and then I ordered the solutions in various oils which were on the market, but they were very weak, meaning I wanted the C60 because of the longevity and the oxidative stress aspect and chronic inflammation, which I was fighting. But I had a problem ingesting the amount of oil, which was the solvent in the C60 solution, because C60 just isn't that soluble. So if you get it in a vegetable oil, whether it's coconut or whether it's avocado or whether it's olive oil, to get the dose that I wanted, I had a hard time taking the amount of oil that it was in. So when I read about some of the research that Bob Greska was doing, and the fact that he wasn't grinding up crystals, he was actually making the nanoparticles by a totally different. The concentration all of a sudden was not a problem because he was using it as a carrier in a suspension for the nanoparticles. And because of my background in chemistry and physics, I actually called Bob Greska, and I said that I'm doing some numbers work trying to figure out the number of particles in the dose. And I said, I am getting a very large number. And he said, well, what's the number? I said, well, it's not the number. It's the order of magnitude. I've got like 12 to 15 zeros. And that puts it into billions and trillions. Now, I was talking about while it's being manufactured. Well, he said, you must be a chemist because most people don't get into the numbers like that, you know. But that removed the curtain as far as how do you get a significant dose of the C60 without inundating yourself with carrier oils in weak solutions. And I've had some wonderful experiences. I've got a dog story, which is tender.
Okay. All right.
I love it. Okay, this is a German.
Whoops. I think we lost him. What happens is people accidentally touch a key on their phone, and it drops them. So hopefully we can get David back. I want to hear the pet story. Bob, are you still on there listening in?
I'm still here.
That was an interesting interaction when I guess the physics and chemistry idea and him calling you and stuff. You must get calls from some very interesting people, I would think.
Oh boy, I get some from all over the world at times. Because this is a far-reaching product. I mean, we ship all over the world, but people try it, and they call up and they just can't believe the results that they have with it in short time. I mean, you heard 60 to 90 seconds applying it topically on his feet.
Wow. All right. Fascinating. All right, let's. I think we have David back now. Are you there, David?
I am. I didn't know I wasn't there, and I've been talking to myself.
All right, that's okay. We all do that from time to time. We do want to hear the pet story, please. So go right ahead. We got about 4 minutes, so go ahead.
The dog I didn't think would make it because of what the vet was saying, and neither did my son. And so I wanted to prepare a place for him back by the pond, and I had a backhoe, and I prepared a place that I thought would be nice for him. Well, the bottom line is, in about 10 days after I started giving him the drops, I said, let's try this, because my son said he's in pain.
What was wrong? What was the diagnosis? We can talk about our friends that are from the pet world without getting the FDA upset.
Sure. No, that's fine. The diagnosis was he had many lesions on his legs and hips, and he was in pain and whining, and he couldn't support his own weight. It was arthritis, but it was also something more aggressive.
Okay, I understand.
And so we put him on this, and within 10 days, he could get up and down the steps again without being carried. He needed to be helped, but he was no longer whining. So in other words, it touched our hearts because we didn't want him suffering. And at that point, he was a sufferer. So we told each other that we're just going to try and stay with it. 30 days later, and this would be this last fall, I'm sitting there, and I let him outside, but I have to watch him down the steps. He makes it. And he goes in the yard, and he gets the ball, and he brings it to me. So in other words, it was a miracle, and this was another tangential thing, because unless I would have had it and received my blessing, I wouldn't have been able to say, well, and I could see where other people were using it, but it was a miracle. It wasn't getting better. It was an extension and a reprieve from an end of the life, bad quality life, to a good quality life.
What a nice story. So all of you out there who have your... Go ahead. He's still with you.
He's still with us. He doesn't need the help. I mean, he's like... I'm 72. My dad was 90. But the point is, he had a good 90. Well, in Dog's years, I'm sure Bud is much older than... Max is much older than us. But his life is now good quality. He wants to get up. He wants to play. He wants to go outside. He doesn't need help to do it.
Wow.
And it's a miracle.
Well, that is... Every day is a blessing, and I'm really happy, David, to hear this. Right. That is wonderful. And
so the good news is, I think I'm going to have to put a cherry tree or something in that hole that I dug, because it doesn't look like he's going to leave.
That's a good idea. And we don't want anyone to trip and fall in it, so put something in there.
No, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Well, wonderful. David, thank you very much for sharing that and everything else you did, and just wonderful, wonderful little material for people to think about. And all of you out there who have your pets, and if they get into any trouble, well, don't wait. Don't wait.
No.
Put them on Carbon-60 now. Give them the advantage. They're carbon-based also. Thank you, David.
Yep.
Take good care of yourself. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Nice talking to you. Bye.
Bob, are you there real quick?
Yes, I'm here. Go to c-60.com online or give us a call tomorrow. Our phone number here in the office is 720-600-6040. That's 720-600-6040.
Now you did it better than I could. Thank you, Robert, very much. You take good care, and we'll talk again soon. Thanks.
Thanks, Jeff.
You bet. All right, again, that phone number is 720-600-6040.